What if everything you thought about happiness was wrong? Have you ever felt like you're constantly chasing happiness, but it always seems just out of reach? You're not alone. Many of us are caught in a cycle of pursuing what we think will make us happy, only to find that once we get it, we're still not satisfied. This video will explore the illusion of happiness and why continuing certain behaviors might be consuming you. We live in a world that often tells us happiness comes from external things: a new job, a bigger house, more money, or the perfect relationship. But what if this view of happiness is flawed? What if it's leading us down a path that actually makes us less happy in the long run? Let's start by looking at what we call the happiness trap. Society has created a certain image of what happiness should look like. It's often portrayed as constant excitement, endless smiles, and a life free from problems. But this view is unrealistic and can lead to disappointment. Real happiness isn't about being in a perpetual state of joy. It's about finding contentment and meaning in our lives, even when things aren't perfect. One of the biggest obstacles to true happiness is the comparison game. In today's digital age, we're constantly exposed to carefully curated highlights of other people's lives. Social media platforms show us endless streams of vacation photos, career achievements, and picture-perfect families. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing our everyday lives to these highlight reels, but this comparison often leaves us feeling inadequate and unhappy. When we constantly measure ourselves against others, we're setting ourselves up for disappointment. We might think, if only I had that job, that house, or that relationship, then I'd be happy. But the truth is, there will always be someone who seems to have more or be doing better. This cycle of comparison can consume us, leaving little room for appreciating what we already have. Another concept that keeps us from lasting happiness is what psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. This is the tendency for humans to quickly return to a relatively stable level of happiness despite major positive or negative life changes. In simpler terms, we get used to things. That new car you were so excited about, after a few months it just becomes your regular car. The promotion you worked so hard for? Once you settle into the new role, it becomes your new normal. This constant desire for more can be exhausting. We achieve one goal, feel a brief surge of happiness, and then immediately start looking for the next thing. It's like being on a treadmill. We're expending a lot of energy, but we're not really getting anywhere. This cycle prevents us from experiencing lasting satisfaction and can leave us feeling constantly unfulfilled. To break free from this cycle, we need to understand the difference between external and internal happiness. External happiness comes from things outside of ourselves: material possessions, achievements, or other people's approval. While these things can bring temporary joy, they're not reliable sources of long-term happiness. Internal happiness, on the other hand, comes from within. It's about how we think, how we perceive the world, and how we treat ourselves and others. Developing internal happiness requires self-awareness. We need to understand our thoughts, feelings, and motivations. This doesn't mean we should never strive for external goals, but we should be aware of why we're pursuing them. Are we chasing that promotion because it aligns with our values and passions, or because we think it will make others impressed with us? Understanding our true motivations can help us make choices that lead to genuine happiness rather than fleeting satisfaction. Our mindset plays a crucial role in our happiness. The way we think about events in our lives can dramatically affect how we feel about them. Two people can experience the same situation and have completely different reactions based on their mindset. For example, getting stuck in traffic can be seen as a frustrating waste of time, or it can be viewed as an opportunity to listen to a podcast or enjoy some quiet time. We have the power to choose our reactions to events. This doesn't mean we should ignore negative emotions or pretend everything is always great. It's about finding a balanced perspective. When something challenging happens, we can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this, or how can I grow from this experience? This shift in thinking can turn obstacles into opportunities for personal growth. One powerful tool for cultivating happiness is gratitude. When we focus on what we're thankful for, we naturally become more content with our lives. Gratitude shifts our attention from what we lack to what we have. It's not about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, it's about recognizing and appreciating the good things in our lives, no matter how small they might seem. Practicing gratitude can be simple. We can start each day by thinking of 3 things we're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. It could be a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or a beautiful sunset. Over time, this practice can rewire our brains to notice more positive aspects of our lives, leading to increased overall happiness. While internal factors are crucial for happiness, our relationships with others also play a significant role. Humans are social creatures, and meaningful connections with others are essential for our well-being. However, it's important to distinguish between superficial relationships and deep, genuine connections. In our hyper-connected world, it's easy to confuse having many acquaintances or online friends with having true, meaningful relationships. But it's the quality of our connections, not the quantity, that contributes to our happiness. Deep relationships provide support, understanding, and a sense of belonging. They give us a safe space to be ourselves and share our joys and struggles. Building and maintaining these connections takes effort. It involves being present, listening actively, and showing empathy. It means being vulnerable and allowing others to see our true selves. While this can feel scary, the rewards of genuine connections far outweigh the risks. Another key factor in finding lasting happiness is having a sense of purpose. When we feel that our lives have meaning and that we're contributing to something larger than ourselves, we experience a deep sense of fulfillment. Purpose gives us direction and motivation. It helps us persevere through challenges because we understand why we're doing what we're doing. Finding our purpose doesn't necessarily mean we need to change the world or do something grandiose. It could be as simple as being a loving parent, creating art that brings joy to others, or volunteering in our community. The important thing is that it resonates with our values and gives us a sense of fulfillment. To discover our purpose, we can start by reflecting on what truly matters to us. What are our core values? What activities make us lose track of time because we're so engrossed in them? What issues in the world do we feel passionate about? By exploring these questions, we can start to uncover what gives our lives meaning and purpose. Mindfulness and living in the present moment are also crucial for experiencing true happiness. Often, we get caught up in regrets about the past or worries about the future. We miss out on the joy and beauty of the present moment. Mindfulness is about paying attention to our current experiences without judgment. Practicing mindfulness can help us break free from the cycle of constant striving and appreciate what's happening right now. It can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths and noticing our surroundings. We can pay attention to the sensations in our body, the sounds around us, or the taste of our food. By regularly practicing mindfulness, we can train our minds to be more present and less caught up in unhelpful thoughts. Self-acceptance is another crucial component of happiness. Many of us have a harsh inner critic that constantly points out our flaws and shortcomings. We might think that being hard on ourselves will motivate us to improve, but often it just leads to unhappiness and low self-esteem. Learning to accept ourselves as we are, with all our imperfections, is key to finding inner peace and happiness. This doesn't mean we should never strive to improve or grow. It's about having a compassionate attitude towards ourselves. We can acknowledge our flaws and areas for improvement while still treating ourselves with kindness and understanding. When we accept ourselves, we're more likely to take positive actions to improve our lives because we're coming from a place of self-love rather than self-criticism. Developing a growth mindset is also important for lasting happiness. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. This is in contrast to a fixed mindset, which believes that our qualities are set in stone and can't be changed. With a growth mindset, we see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow rather than as threats to our self-image. We're more likely to persist in the face of setbacks because we believe that with effort, we can improve. This attitude leads to greater resilience and a more positive outlook on life. To cultivate a growth mindset, we can start by becoming aware of our self-talk. When we face a challenge, do we tell ourselves, "I can't do this," or "I can't do this yet"? That simple addition of "yet" can shift our perspective from one of limitation to one of possibility. We can also reframe failures as learning experiences. Instead of seeing a setback as proof of our inadequacy, we can ask ourselves, "What can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow?" It's not about constant joy or having everything we want. It's about finding contentment and meaning in our lives. It comes from within, through self-awareness, gratitude, and a positive mindset. It's nurtured by meaningful relationships, a sense of purpose, and living in the present moment. It grows when we accept ourselves and approach life with a growth mindset. Now it's time for you to reflect. What does happiness mean to you? How can you apply these ideas to your own life? Remember, the path to true happiness is a personal one. It's not about following someone else's definition of success or happiness. It's about discovering what truly brings you joy and fulfillment. As you move forward, be gentle with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight. It's a process of small, consistent steps. Start by choosing one area to focus on. Maybe it's practicing gratitude, or cultivating mindfulness, or working on self-acceptance. Whatever you choose, approach it with patience and compassion for yourself. Happiness isn't a destination, it's a way of traveling. It's found in the small moments of our daily lives, in our relationships, in pursuing our passions, and in growing as individuals. By shifting our focus from external achievements to internal growth, we can break free from the illusion of happiness and discover a deeper, more lasting sense of well-being. As you go about your day, try to notice the small joys around you. Pay attention to the warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of your favorite food, or the sound of a loved one's laughter. These simple pleasures are often the building blocks of true happiness. Also remember that it's okay to have bad days or to feel unhappy sometimes. Emotions are a natural part of the human experience, and trying to suppress negative feelings often makes them stronger. Instead, acknowledge your emotions, learn from them, and then gently guide your focus back to the present moment and the things you're grateful for. Consider how you can incorporate more meaningful activities into your life. This could be spending quality time with loved ones, engaging in hobbies that bring you joy, or volunteering for a cause you care about. These activities can provide a sense of purpose and fulfillment that contributes to long-term happiness. Pay attention to your self-talk. Are you kind to yourself, or do you often engage in harsh self-criticism? Practice speaking to yourself as you would to a good friend, with kindness, understanding, and encouragement. This shift in self-talk can have a profound impact on your overall happiness and well-being. Happiness is not a competition. Your journey is unique to you, and comparing your progress to others will only lead to frustration. Focus on your own growth and celebrate your personal victories, no matter how small they may seem. Consider keeping a journal to track your happiness journey. Write down moments of joy, things you're grateful for, and lessons you've learned. This can help you notice patterns, appreciate your progress, and stay motivated on your path to genuine happiness. Lastly, be patient with yourself. True happiness and contentment don't come overnight. It's a lifelong journey of growth, self-discovery, and learning. Embrace the process and remember that each step you take, no matter how small, is moving you in the right direction. As you move forward, keep in mind that the pursuit of happiness is not about reaching a final destination. It's about creating a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling to you. It's about finding joy in the journey itself, rather than constantly looking to the future for happiness. You have the power to shape your own happiness. It's not determined by external circumstances, but by how you perceive and respond to those circumstances. By focusing on internal growth, cultivating positive relationships, living with purpose, and practicing mindfulness and gratitude, you can create a life filled with genuine happiness and contentment. So as you go forward from here, what will you do differently? How will you break free from the illusion of happiness and start creating a life of true fulfillment? The choice is yours, and the journey starts now. Every moment is an opportunity to choose happiness, to choose growth, to choose a life that aligns with your true self. Take a moment now to set an intention for yourself. It could be as simple as, "Today I will notice 3 things I'm grateful for," or "This week I will spend quality time with a loved one." These small steps can lead to big changes over time. You're not alone on this journey. Reach out to others, share your experiences, and support each other. Together, we can create a world where true happiness is valued over fleeting pleasures, where we measure our worth by our kindness and growth rather than our possessions or achievements. As you end this video, take a deep breath, feel the air filling your lungs, and as you exhale, let go of any preconceived notions about happiness that no longer serve you. You have the power to define what happiness means for you and to create a life that aligns with that definition. Thank you for taking the time to explore this important topic. May your journey towards true happiness be filled with growth, love, and meaningful experiences. Remember, every step you take towards understanding yourself and cultivating inner peace is a step towards genuine happiness. You've got this.